Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacaster. I'm your host, Paul.A.D, Master Propaganda Hero, Psych Defender of the Fatherland, off hitting the exciting 1 vs 1 on Kholodny Ferma. Between the west, we got Miragefla, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, the Panzergrenadier Brandenburg. Versus in the east, we got Paul.A.D, fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Sterling. Taking on the role here of the 3rd Guards Mechanized Corps, we got German Infantry, Assault Support, and Storm Doctrine from Miragefla, with double Panzergrenadier Infantry versus Urban Defense, Shock Motor, and Shock Rifle, and Paul.A.D dives straight into Shock Rifle with no hesitation, no doubts. Like he would throw himself into a pool of ice-cold water. With Shock Trooper Infantry and Counter Bulletins there, noting, of course, for less suppressive. I don't think there's many other bulletins for the Shock Troopers, actually. Either way, Shock Rifle here. We'll have to see what Miragefla goes for. Wiring happening here on, I think, both sides. Note, by the way, that Paul.A.D is aiming for a slightly disruptive start. Not wildly, but just slightly sending in the engineers to the northern compartment, which, for the Western player, if the enemy secures this part, you're in for a really annoying time. And that's obviously what Paul.A.D is, at least degree, aiming for. Miragefla, of course, got MG42's grenades here to stall any further movements there, but even then, it does mean that Paul.A.D can keep an annoying presence. That means Miragefla is going to have keep forces around here as well. I mean, if you had this, it would be much easier to defend, but with this in the Soviets' hand, it's going to be a bit more tricky position here. You see Miragefla moving the machine a bit further back to, I think, cover the... No, what is Miragefla thinking here? He's trying to cover the send, also noting that's a lot of barbed wire there from Miragefla. Grenadiers versus Engineers, triple contact with that there for Paul.A.D. Double Grenadiers stepping Miragefla. Pioneer moving up, Engineers are taking mounted casualties. MD4 sitting up here, countries falling back in the west here. Nothing further happening then. Miragefla's base and Pioneers versus Engineers conscripts going for that cutoff point because the Paul.A.D is up to disrupting. Noting though he's not getting any fuel himself, at least not the fuel point. Though he's still getting more resources simply due to having more points. Not a lot though, but you know, still more. Second unit squad up there for Paul.A.D. Could be planning an early support company start their special rifle command. We'll have to see what it ends up with here between him and Miragefla. Grenadiers moving up here with the Pioneers backing up. The MG42 is moving back up as well as Miragefla. Note again the active flexible use of the machine gun. In this case though, he's using it to cover against any attempt from Paul.A.D to flank up and attack into the flank of the Miragefla. Moving up here, Engineers resting for the fuel point. Pioneers win there. Grenadiers moving to perhaps occupy the house or to flank the Engineers. It looks like he's going to flank the Engineers, that way catching the Engineers a bit off guard. Grenadiers pinning down the conscripts. Machine remaining there. Now go Engineers routed. 3rd conscript on the way there. Points in the south being secured. This of course means not Paul is getting a smidgen more resources overall than the last. Munitions wise, he's getting a lot more though. 48 versus 16 is a 3 times difference, I believe. No take up yet there for Miragefla. Conscripts moving about here. Conscripts standing about there. And we got medics on the way there for Paul.A.D. Miragefla commits. It is German Infantry. Deutsche Infantry or Deutsches Infantry. Either way, that'll be some take up there for him. But up to goes for the early 250 half track. Stormtroopers, veteran squad leaders are more like, I think, a no-brainer. But some of the other elements can be a bit hard to say. Though I would say overall German Infantry is a very solid doctrine if you know how to use it. And Miragefla, I think, would definitely be one of the players who knows how to use it. He's getting a tighter field to play. Overall, presented with the doctrine, he will on average make more use of it than other players. MG4 to the routed as Paul.A.D makes an aggressive strike. They're occupying the house, and of course the flamethrower there, the MG42 is going to have to run or get roasted. So take up there, almost done here for Miragefla. Could consider an early 250 half track here versus Paul.A.D. Try to catch him off guard with some fast motorization there, or mechanization actually in the case of the 250 half track, which was based off a light unarmored half track actually, sort of I think roughly 1 tonners, sort of like that. But there you go, he's going for an early 250 half track here. Early and early, but you get the idea. Pioneers moving in, flamethrowers on the way there. Combining Pioneers with a flamethrower course on 250 half track is really good, just like the M3A1 with flamethrower engineers is really good. So far no anti-tank grenades here for him. We'll have to see if Paul smells what's up here or if he's going to be caught off guard as Miragefla then barrels into him. MG4 dealing with the conscripts here so far though. Paul.A.D is keeping up some aggressive play there. Miragefla is struggling. But Paul.A.D very much does seem to be unexpecting as to what's going to be coming his way. He is not ready for the Teutonic tide. So there you go. 250 after they're going to be reinforced. Going to pop them in fast. We got shock troops out here for Paul.A.D. A bold, aggressive move there. Again, really good versus infantry builds. And of course, just really good if you can sort of know how to use them properly. A good flank for some of the shock troopers can do some heavy damage. So there you go. Troops healing reinforcing. It's going to pop in those pioneers into the 250 half-track, usually used in reconnaissance units. They could also be used in regular Panzer Division or Panzer Grenadier units if they couldn't get 251 half-tracks. They were fun note there. Note, by the way, by late 1944-45, the 250 half-track would actually no longer be produced. Well, the chassis would still, but they were actually being shifted towards armoured car production. That was known as the 250C, or Kaiser, which basically used the same turret then as the 222. Bang note. Our way pursuing the conscripts here, close to wiping them out. A nice mechanized move here, and we can see there Paul.A.D. calling in a smoke grenade there to try and cover them up. Not a bad idea, except he's got nothing to prevent them from the 250 from going further, so kind of fell apart. But I like the idea there by Paul.A.D. He definitely had the right in the heart in the right place. 250 they're doing some heavy damage on Paul.A.D. certainly catching him off guard there, getting away from the conscripts, very good there. Of course, he's still got the resource lead. I mean, Miragefla's really been on the back foot, and we got stormtroopers out here, which, by the note, are using the Brandenburger Division's insignia. The Brandenburgers initially were sort of special operations troops for infiltration purposes, but I think around 1943-44 were converted into a full Panzer Grenadier Division, which would later be part of the Panzer Korps Deutschland. By note. All the way, 250 hard with stormtroopers in it, by the way, is actually a really strong combo, which obviously Miragefla is going to highlight, since the stormtroopers inside the 250 half-tech can do some really good damage, since again they can keep pace with the unit, so they just really mesh well together. Getting away on the engineers, then we can see Paul is all of a sudden actually suffering some losses here thanks to the arrival of the 250 half-tech. Paul.A.D. clearly not prepared. He's gone for the anti-tank grenades, but for the most part also worth noting here that the shock troopers are not really going to be able to do much against it. Back here, troops reinforcing. No bunker yet up from Miragefla. So we'll have to see what Paul.A.D. does besides complain about it. And certainly it is very nasty to be on the receiving end of. I've certainly had some very nasty things done with it. Not to me though, but I've done it to other players, including wiping out most of the British players' forces in a 2 versus 2 when he basically caused them, had a mass retreat, a pursuit with a 250 half with stormtroopers in it, and suffice to say, caused quite a few casualties since they were not ready. They never are. But obviously, I mean, Paul.A.D. is going to have to keep more careful there, play with his conscripts and other weapons, since, of course, you can deal with this, but if you aren't ready, and again, for example, your forces are very, exposed or extended, the 250 half can quickly just hone in on one squad at a time and do some heavy damage. As again, the stormtroopers, MP40s, and the machine gun and the 250 half really just combine for some heavy fire. But there you go, anti-tank grenade off there on the 250 half track. Stormtroopers popping out. They're going to have to cover the retreat up. No, does he try to set it up here? He does go for the defensive setup. And there you go, almost getting the conscript there. Stormtroopers, veterans who won, which will allow them to self-heal. And the half track is as well veterans who won, so even if they suffered casualties, they can reinforce at it. It's a nice little combo there by Miragefla, I guess. Well, not so much of a combo, but a nice little set over there. Either way, stormtroopers reinforcing, well, not healing just by themselves. Also ordering into ambush there. Back here we got take out for Paul.A.D. Suddenly his little fuel advantage kind of seems less impressive. They can still pull for a fast T-70. And Miragefla is going to be rather exposed to it, since he doesn't actually have a lot of anti-tank weapons. He's first getting the light mechanized company out, so a T-70 here could be quite viciously effective versus Miragefla and the Panzer Grenadier Division, Brandenburg. Pioneers popping in, storms left in ambush. Not a bad position at all. Veterans just gaining the Pioneers. 10 kills there so far. Like the mechanized company up from Miragefla as well. In the south, Grenadiers advancing. Note that none of them. Oh, there we go. None of them have been upgraded, but at least one squad is getting upgraded there for Miragefla and Das Vaterland. Oh, he's trying for another setup here. Note though that while he does suppress, it can usually take a bit of while before they get suppressing. Out of the way though. Miragefla is on it. We'll see if he commits to more stormtroopers though. With the total of 4 infantry squads, I'd say this is pretty good. They could commit to a 5th. Pack 40 on the way there, since Miragefla is obviously very concerned about potentially have a T-7 light tank out from Paul.A.D, and that's definitely the right thing to do. And obviously Paul.A.D's, you know, for the most part, you know, making the right decision going for the T70. It's very obvious, very straightforward. He could try and counter with a half-track of his own. But he'd rather actually sort of fight well from inside it, but he could do it. It's only going to put him in the mobile seat as well here versus Miragefla, but, you know. It would be fun to see, you know, two players dealing with mechanized troops inside each of their respective half-tracks, but I don't think we're going to see that. Smoke's going off here to cover the retreat of the Stormtroopers. Miragefla's taking no chances. Very sensible play. Cutting off resources or points here. Telemine's down. T70 getting the 250 half today, which is quickly routed off the field. Inside of the Telemine, perhaps a bit slightly placed differently. Might be able to bait the T70 into it. So it's now being pursued. One veteran squad lead up here for Miragefla and the Panzer Grenadier Division Brandenburg. Shock Troopers pursuing Grenadiers getting blasted, and there you go MD42 pushing the Shock Troopers into desert, but there you go, smoke grenade off here from him. But getting hit with a rifle, getting trains, going to have to retreat those Shock Troopers before Miragefla finishing them off. 250 half getting repaired, closing in on veteran 2. Very nice. Very nice play there in Miragefla. Pack forward then getting the T70. T70 rolling back. Over here healing enforcement. And note by the way the demo charge here in case Miragefla tries to list the house. Very sneaky play. Also hard to see there for Miragefla, so nicely done. Thumbs up there. More Shock Troopers out here. Interesting choice here considering the current circumstances. Of course, double Shock Troopers, you know, used correctly, can really lay down the hurt here on Miragefla. And of course, the 250 half-track Stormtrooper combo there is ready. The Storm Track, if you will. And they're going to use caught laying down mines. Oh, negative cover as well. That's a total wipe. Veteran 2 gained in the half-track. Stormtroopers, Veteran 2 as well. 17 kills. Flamethrower down as well. A brutal loss there for Paul.A.D and the 3rd Guards Mechanized score here. As Miragefla and the Brandenburgers slash away. Very nice to set over there. Points being seized here. Paul.A.D, of course, is not rolling over easily versus Miragefla. He's having none of this fascist poppycock. And it's going in hard here versus... Oh, the Telemine! No, he dodges it just barely. Holy smokes, that was a close one there for Paul.A.D. Possibly the closest shade he's ever had in his life. Shock was winning against the Grenadiers. And there you go, crook grenade, force... No, smoke... Oh, cheeky. I mean, the smoke grenade basically costs less. I mean, if you know your troops going to retreat, I mean, you might as well try and dissipate him into the retreat, you know, using the smoke grenade. That was actually really clever there by Paul. That was insidiously clever, actually. Just, you know... I mean, if your opponent's going to retreat anyways, and you just need to throw a grenade, you throw the smoke. That is absolutely genius. Support armor corps here for Miragefla and the Panzer Grenadier Division Brandenburg. Back here in base for Paul.A.D. Nothing further happening as of yet. T70 once more playing with danger. Dimitri, yes? I find myself called back to this spot time and time again. At some point, I feel I will explode with excitement. Are you sure not use German mines that lay down? Nah. I do not feel it's going to be that kind of explosion. Sandbags up with a fuel point there. Harass from the south, cutting off points. Shock Troopers sitting out there, field on the way there for Paul.A.D. Demo charge remains, almost got the fuel point there. Fun fact about the T70, it was overall not really something they're making because it really fulfilled a great purpose. They built it because they had to, since basically they were trying to shift production lines away and they sort of had to cut stuff, so they basically put together the T50 and the T60 light tanks into what was known as the T70, but it was not, again, a very particularly cheap or efficient choice. It's just because they had to use the production line, so the T70 sort of was kind of a result of that as a fun note. Pack forward setting up there. Pack forward in the T70. Demo chance, there you go, spotted this time around, dealt with. House collapses. Mines are plenty down. He's really hung to bait the half-track or something else into it and deal with it. Oh dear, looks like though... Oh, he was too close to the demo charge, I think, there. And the shockwave basically blew the Stormtroopers out of the half-track. That can actually happen, or something else did it, but I think it was the Demo charge there. I mean, that's actually something to keep in mind. Demo charges are extremely good at clearing up buildings. So, like, even if you say put it down to a building that's really strong and it doesn't destroy it, usually if anything's inside, it will die. Anything's close to it. So, again, that also applies to, you know, half tracks like that. So, fun note. Meanwhile, Paul.A.D's dangerous dance with the Tellermine continues. His illicit romance. Which can be seen on your daily TV channels. Afternoon, Paul.A.D and Tellermine. The romance that could never truly come true. Anyways, Pack 40 on the way then. Number 2 for Miragefla. Interesting choice. You could easily go for a Panzer IV. But I'm guessing he's a bit worried about the capabilities of his opponent. Or his tactics. There you go. We got the Panzer IV on the way. Going to use upgraded with veteran squad leaders. For the most part, the remaining squad gets upgraded with the G40 or the LMG-42. Paul.A.D's using a lot of territory here. Mines being laid down. Paul.A.D, I think, is trying to bait Miragefla into doing something reckless or something like that. That's Miragefla just waiting, you know, for his force to make the next push. I imagine that, of course, involves the Panzer IV. Of course, the more he waits, the more time he also just gives, you know, Paul.A.D to just dig in and prepare. So it's obviously not without its hazard to what Miragefla is doing. He's actually beginning to make the push here. Shocked was going to make a really big flank here from the south. Nasty push that we'll have seen Miragefla can stop that. The Panzer IV's arriving, and that might in fact just work out here. Minesweepers out, but they are not quite there with the Tellermine. Shocked with the catch of the gun use. Could see small chance of what engineers joining in. Shooting upwards here, machine gun pointing in the wrong direction. And we can see Miragefla's southern or central front is completely collapsing now. Machine gun air close being rounded up with the shock troopers. Panzer IV arrives to save the day here for Miragefla's machine gun, but even then it's pretty close here. A lot there for Paul.A.D would have been, by the way, amazing for him and rather rubbish for Miragefla. Raffinades off there, field gun opening up on the Panzer IV that misses. Overall, noting that Paul.A.D is in control of most of the map, and Miragefla got another Stormtrooper scored out here, immediately adding the MP40s here. He needs Stormtrooper being taken out. Would be helpful there for Miragefla. Could get a wipe on them, and he's definitely aiming for it. I mean, he could try and aim for the field gun here, obviously, but that would take way too long, and, you know, get the chance. There you go. MP40's up. That's going to help there. Second field gun out as well here for Paul.A.D. So they both got double anti-tank guns, which is rather interesting. I mean, for Paul.A.D, he's clearly stalling for the IS-2, but Miragefla, again, does not have that option with German infantry. I mean, it's not like, you know, the secret Tiger button or something that is, you know, unlocked by entering a 9-digit code or something. So, like, I mean, he can't stall for any really big tanks unless, like, he goes for the Tier 4, and that, again, makes the Panzer IV weird no matter what. So, wait, Paul.A.D here is clearly stalling for the IS-2. Of course, that could very well be the reason for Paul Miragefla is going for the double pack 40s. He rather, you know, sensed it. Again, he's seen shock troopers. He's not really seeing a lot at this stage either. And of course, it might just be, you know, an evaluation of Paul.A.D, who knows, either way. The IS-2, the Josef Stalin 2 heavy tank. Miragefla healing reinforcing. Stormtroopers receiving crucial medical aid there. Panzer IV being fixed up. Machine gun heading northwards. Bit of quiet otherwise on the front. Field gun there covering up. This is 3 by way. Was sort of what was known as a field gun, meaning it was both an anti-tank gun and an artillery piece. I think they preferred using it more as an artillery piece than an anti-tank gun. Little fun note there. Note by also the Germans would try and copy this with the Feldkanone 40, which was basically just a Pack 40 that could actually be angled to fire as artillery as well. That came up at the late 1944. Panzer IV there engaging the conscript, shocks coming up for the centre. She's on the point here, and these was the conscript up north. Rifle Paul.A.D retreats, he takes no chances. IS-2 is not far off, but as you can see, it does give Miragefla more time to bring out armor and other things and help deal with the IS-2. Still, Paul.A.D's got most leads otherwise. I mean, he's definitely got the fuel lead. Victory points wise, he's also in lead here with Miragefla and the Panzergrenadier Division Brandenburg. Panzer IV not being upgraded as of yet. And we got Maxims out now here for Paul.A.D at this time. Interesting. I mean, Miragefla does have a lot of infantry, so, you know, it makes sense. It makes a bunch of sense. Tell him I'm finally spotted there, perhaps. Paul.A.D realises he's actually been dancing a bit there with things he should not be dancing with. Telemines. Teasing the hammering away. Stormtroopers quickly throwing down a smoke grenade. Very nice there. Smooth play by Miragefla. Double pack 40s moving up. They're setting up the little pack front up there. Machine gun is on the watch. Stormtroopers probably need to fall back soon. There you go. T-75 on the Panzer Abwehrkanone. Note he's quickly spread them out. And there you go. We got into the artillery. Martin Fabry recently did that. And oh, big flank here from the shock troopers. Doesn't get the Stormtroopers. In fact, ignores them, but instead goes to the support weapons here. The machine in particular seems to be Paul.A.D's main priority. Pack 40 by white. Almost got the MG42. Does he get it? Oh, so close. No, the MG42 by Job's mustache gets away. Panzer IV down to 5 from the field guns. He's lined up against the truck and quickly retreated here. Pack 40 could be overwhelmed. Of course, this means he could steal the Pack 40 or destroy it, depending on what Paul.A.D wants to do. He should probably though make a swift decision about it. Also, light machine gun drop there. So Mirage lost the Pack 40 and a Grenadier with an LMG. That is certainly some harsher losses there. Quick rushing for it. Nothing happening with the Pack 40 here so far. Mortar raining down here as Mirage has brought up a bit of light artillery here. Still very nasty push there. Also very well done. Push there by Paul.A.D. Very close to the IS-2. Nothing happening here with the Pack 40. It's starting to look like he's going to destroy it. Yup. Decides he wants nothing to do with that fascist piece of trash. Oh, Storms was not fully reinforced. That's a bit of a mistake there. An oversight by Miragefla. Panzer IV being fixed up. He could go for another Panzer IV, though. Again, if he's expecting the IS-2, it still would be pretty good. Comes on the fires of the sandbag in the centre. Victory points wise. Paul.A.D remains in the lead here. Back here, healing enforcement for Paul.A.D. Any conscripts merging with the shock troopers? Yeah, no. Interesting. Ooh. I mean, as the match goes on longer and longer, there's not really much reason to, upgrade the shock troopers or reinforce them with, proper troops, since they're going to be increasingly facing more armor, so you might as well just go for what's cheaper. Anyways, Paul.A.D very close to the IS-2 here. Miragefla is close, well, to more armor of the medium kind. Stormtroopers still not fully reinforced. Panzer ending the pinlock machine and that help deal with the Bolsheviks. Push in the centre, push for the south, though again, lots of mines in the south here by Paul.A.D. A minor minefield here. The Miragefla bring up minesweepers, anticipating this move, very nice, and spots a lot of mines. There's going to be a lot of munitions there basically being disarmed by Miragefla. Shock trooping up against the Panzer IV. Up north we got Stormtroopers comes to get close quarters engagement. Back here, troops in reinforcing there. Paul.A.D not quite there. Back here, troops in reinforcing. Paul.A.D Miragefla needs to go for more armor. Paul.A.D super close to the IS-2. Rifle it, and the Stormtroopers almost take up the country squad. Close but not quite there. On the other end, he's almost close to the Stormtroopers. It is worth noting now that Paul.A.D is focused much more on the centre and a bit on the south, and he's seemingly forgotten the north entirely exists. Miragefla going for the Stuka again here, I think at this stage has very safely deduced, like he's some sort of frontline Sherlock Holmes in the German army, that, Paul.A.D is likely going for the IS-2. I mean, he's seen nothing except one IS-2. He's seen shock troopers, he's seen incendiary artillery. I mean, the clue should all add together here that Paul.A.D is stalling for the IS-2, and he's going to make Miragefla's life really miserable if Miragefla does not get a sufficient number of counters to it. We just needs a bit more manpower to get. He's got tons of fuel, really. Tons. Miragefla could go for double Stug and versus the IS-2. Double Stug would be, I think, a very solid choice. Grenades off, shock troops advancing, right in front of the Panther 4 there, half slowly approaching Infantry 2 there. Troops being murdered, back here, troops reinforcing healing. Down to less than 2 men, Panther 4 down to 5 from the SIS-3 field guns, need to fall back. Oh, the Stug is blocking, Scheiße! It gets away with the Panther 4, very close shave with the Miragefla, and there you go. Paul.A.D can go for the IS-2, he's got the resources, he's got the command points. He's got everything he needs, he just needs to press the button and he does so. Gloriously. To the sound of, I'm sure, some sort of Soviet army chorus humming in the background. Press the button, you fatigue bastard. You get the idea. I mean, obviously, I can't really sing in Russian because I don't speak it. And, you know, I'm not claiming he's a fat pig bastard. It's just for some reason, in terms of lyrics, this just, you know what, for some reason fitted into my mind. Anyway, small fire around down there on the field gun. I shooting northwards. No pin up machine. Should definitely add that since you know, add some nice extra teeth here to the IS-2. And again, we can see now Paul.A.D again extending its pressure to the north again. Miragefla is not quite prepared for that, which makes it much easier to push through there. So, of course, punishing Miragefla for a bit of laxity in the north. Smoking down in the centre. Either for disruption, you know, that's it called disruption, not disruption. Anyways, he's trying to deceive his opponent, or deception, we'll just call it deception. He's basically trying to distract him, there you go, distract him. Or he's planning out for an assault there, I don't know, it's hard to say. There's smoke between our field, lots of smoke by the way now so far by both players, or at least mostly from Paul.A.D. Well, ultimately that's been doing some there. Stug taking a hit there from the SIS-3. Can't hold as a Stung, or the IS-2, Stug going up to back up here. IS-2 should be careful about that. Risk exposed to there he goes. Stug lands a nice fat hit there on the rear armor. Panther 4 moving in, they're close to Infantry 2 against Paul.A.D's IS-2. His Joseph Stalin 2 tank. Shot bounced. Miragefla though is down to 38 victory points here, looking a bit rough. Panzer 4 number 2 on the way from Miragefla. Interesting choice with the IS-2 out, but of course he's got one already there plus a Stug and a lot of packs, so I mean it can work. I personally just go for more Stugs. IS-3 they're ready to blast some fascists apart and prepare the tanks. Stay on the Miragefla needs victory point. Could try and sneak through the south here, maybe clear up some stormtroopers and get through here and then hit the point. But they seem to be preoccupied around the centre. There you go, big strong shock to the swing here by Paul.A.D. Panther 4 those ready to react here. Eventually 2 shots already. Stug from the machine and infantry support carrying out the northern point there as Miragefla is trying to stop the shock troops and causing too much grief for the Miragefla. IS-2 being pushed back here by the Sturmgeschütz. IS-2 down to less than half health. It could even try and take advantage of this with a push for the centre as well, since Miragefla's only got one machine gun. In fact, this is very vulnerable, but it seems like he's a bit too preoccupied with just defending here. T-70 is doing nothing as well. And we got here, oh, smoking off, nice work there, Miragefla, getting good use of smoke grenades on the stormtroopers, and then retreated because, you know, could have been perhaps a bit better. Still, better to use it and not use it fully well than, you know, never to use it at all. HT-70 there. Troops healing and forcing. Back here healing, reinforcement, IS-2 being repaired. Munitions point under control of Paul.A.D by getting 63 munitions per minute, meaning he's getting a bit over munitions point per second. Got that Panther rolling in, 24 kills, there we go. T-70 goes down after so much time. Panther moving up here, flanking behind the one field in the area. The other one is actually farther up towards the north, meaning they can't cover each other, making such an armoured breakthrough from Miragefla actually possible without losing the tanks. But there you go, Paul.A.D very quick to merge the conscript with the field, ensuring that Miragefla cannot quickly let the field gun. Nice play there of Paul.A.D. Solid skill play there. Definitely a trick there most players never consider, but again, just in these crucial moments, quick being able to match a conscious squad with the depleted weapons crew is really powerful. So thumbs up there. I was swimming up here, flanking the Pack 40, annihilating the crew in a shower of blood and gore. I see that, but 3 kills, and the Panzer IV goes down, too slow to move, knocked out by the field guns. A nasty blow there to Miragefla and the Brandenburger. Panzer going to be short with the flanking the IS-2. We got a fragmentation bombing run in here around the center. Oh dear, is it on the IS-2? Yeah, I think so. No, it was the field guns actually. And somehow, him trying to relight the meant they actually got into the path of it, getting knocked out. That was very lucky there from Miragefla. One field gun crew and the gun itself utterly annihilated the other one. Just the crew did not survive, but the gun, managed to send it to the Kholodny Ferma. Pack 40 there could be struck. Panther almost taken out here. Quite a blow there. IS-2 could pursue, but he might be right up at the Pack 40. There you go. Push back. Constable light machine again. They're going to use in the center. Some intense fun here between Paul.A.D and Miragefla. Miragefla down to 75 victory points versus Paul.A.D's 353. A world of a difference. Miragefla here realizing, and he has to rely on what is truly mighty. He has to go for the Sturmgeschütz. Troops hitting, reinforcing. Pack destroyed. Stug falling back. No pin machine in there by for the Miragefla. Mines going off in the storms as they push southwards. Oh, we could see a wipe here if Miragefla's unlucky. Or Paul.A.D's lucky, depending on how you view it. IS-2 and down, it repairs. And he's actually tagged out there. Good. That'd be a bit silly. I mean, at this stage, if you've gone for something bigger than a tank battalion command. He needs more armor to back up the IS-2. T-34s and KBs would be really good. Maybe Initiative 5. He cancelled the second student though for Panzer IV. Personally, a bit disappointed, but I mean, it works. So I'm obviously not going to say to him they shouldn't go for Panzer IVs. Again, versus the IS-2 and the so far well-handled IS-2, I'd still recommend the second Stug. But again, considering how well Miragefla handles Panzer IV and his Stug, I mean, he can make it work. Second Panzer IV out. And these as conscripts, veteran sported upgrade there. He's definitely pays off a lot for the Wehrmacht. Since again, just that 5th man really just makes the unit a lot harder to wipe, and that really takes you a lot of it's the Wehrmacht when you have 4-man squads. Troops healing and forcing, IS-2 repairing. Pack covering up, Panzer IV good to go. Penlock machine of course would be great, so it would be on the Stug. So far no sign of anything out of the Mechanized armor company. Oh, there we go, HD5 tank destroyer to back up the IS-2 heavy tank. There was also technically the IS-3, but that one really only saw very limited usage in Manchuria. That was just mostly stomping the Imperial Japanese Army, which absolutely could not resist the Red Army at that point. Beyond that, the IS-3 really saw no usage whatsoever in World War II. Using southwards. Panzer IV on watch. Another Pack 40 there. At this stage, I'm almost thinking Miragefla to just try and go for Tier 4 and set up for a Panther or something like that, rather than just go for all these double packs. But he seems to be a firm believer in double pack. Issue 5 tank shot here for Paul.A.D and the 3rd Guards Mechanized Corps. In the centre standoff here with Miragefla and Paul.A.D. With the centre victory points, 63 points left for Miragefla, so he's starting to look dicey in that sense. Panzer IV slowly approaching the ace level. IS-2 moving up. Now these could be history soon, and we got the Strad ready, the field gun there ready, Maximus as well. Smoke screen down here to cover up the machine gun, maybe the field gun as well. Nice work there with Miragefla. His veteran 3 mortar is definitely paying itself off. Good investment there, very good investment. Ooh, Pioneers are blasted by the IS-2. Pack 40 the return for favor and pierces the armor of the IS-2 tank. I mean, versus all these support weapons, I mean, Paul.A.D wouldn't be completely missed to go for, you know, COH2 rocket launch in this situation. H5 field gun here on Miragefla down up north. Pentavol's going to try and flank up behind the IS-2, not bad. Going to use Pack 40 backing up there. Mine spot here by the mine sweepers. So many mines. Just look at all those mines. That's amazing. Very thorough work there with Paul.A.D. I mean, he's got the munitions to it. I mean, you know, he should definitely just knock himself out with mines, and you hope he knocks out some of the large flash forces with those mines. Storms are down here. They probably should retreat for that fourth man. Miragefla's armor, though, is rather dented, though. Paul.A.D's armor wasn't quite safe either. Another H5 tank destroyer here. Interesting choice versus Miragefla. Could it be overkill? Should he just be going for something else like the KB8 or the COH2 or the T-34s? Bit hard to say here. If we're going to go by gut instinct, I do feel like WH5C is a big match. I think again the COH2 here would actually make a lot of sense, but ours T-34s or the KB8 could do them also a lot of good. The KB8 could just burn through a lot of the support weapons rapidly, as an example, and help absorb fire there alongside the IS-2. Back here, healing enforcement, should follow us down there, constantly moving out. Shock troopers there, backed up with H5. Heavily damaged those, we need to be a bit careful here. Second H5 out for Paul.A.D, and he's got plenty of fuel for more. He just needs some manpower, really, and I guess in this case the pop cap, since he's at 99. Storms are hiding out. Probably wondering if they actually should spring the ambush, just decide, you know, accidentally overlook the Russian hordes. Paul seems to be making a push with the south, north is seeing no action. There's a single machine in there which you could probably use your rush with, you know, the IS-2, KB8 or T-34. Storms was spotted here and routed. Oh, they're going to try past both shocks, but scores has been quite painful there for Miragefla. No, he gets lucky though. IS-2 versus Pentavol here. Pentavol gets rather lucky there versus the IS-2 to put a mile in. They're still going to push it. We got fragmentation bombs there ready again for Miragefla, calling in here on the Maxim. And could catch the infantry nearby as well. In this case, they'll wipe the entire Maxim crew. Nice calling with Miragefla there. He's certainly gotten a lot of value out of those fragmentation bombs so far. Nice zooming up there. Veterans 1 gain blasting the fascists. Calf bombing hit there by Miragefla's Grenadiers. Field gun there being flanked by the Grenadiers as well. The G43 singing out and silencing Soviet souls. That's 2 with 7 kills. Sturming in there, could hit a mine. Panzerfaust in the IS-2 shoots bouncers off the IS-2's thick heavy armor. And there you go, Vetu 2 on the Stup taking hit there from the field gun, mortar firing down. Shock to his flank here, taking out the Pack 40. A swift turnaround there, nice push there from Paul.A.D, completely blindsiding Miragefla. And Stu there's down to less than half health. H5, they're moving ahead. Pack 40 repositioning, not a bad lead. IS-2 being fixed up, H5 and 2 moving up as well there. 63 versus 166. The Miragefla were able to close the gap quite nicely here, though there's still a bit of a gap to close in on remaining. Panther might try and go for a flank against Paul.A.D, they're a bit risky. Back here, healing reinforcement. Same here. I mean, at this stage, Paul.A.D will be able to call in another IS-2 as soon as he loses the first one, if he does lose it, because he's almost got the resources. Quick few hits on the H5. Tank destroyer. Stug being repaired. Smoke screen off, very nice. Closing in on Veteran 2 there. And the stormtroopers. Gonna use Pantheon directed here from the H5. I still also hammering away there at the advancing fascist infantry. Stormtroopers routed up north. You got the Panther forming in, getting the conscripts. Closing on the ace level there. 37 kills. Really solid ace play there with the Panzer IV by Miragefla. Moving up some support weapons there. Heavy Panzer Corps from Miragefla, even if he can't quite go for anything yet, is setting up so he's prepared. If he does suffer some losses, he can then quickly get in a Panther, whatever he needs to deal with Paul.A.D. So nice setup there, nice setup. Infantry backed up with the anti-tanks from the Northfoots. Smoke screen off. Not bad, not bad. Smoke screen in the south. Looks like Miragefla is playing something. There we go. Machine gun almost right here with the shock troopers. Oh dear, he actually got a wipe there. He finally wiped Miragefla's veteran machine gun crew. We got the Panther going out close to the ace level. We got the anti-tanks up front there. Trying to support him, but they can't quite get it done. Miragefla's armor still far, besides the Panther not reacting. Paul.A.D's not moving out, his armor just firmly planted in the south. Machine gun then needs to retreat before it gets right, but the Panther will be a bit of waste there for. Now he pops into the shed, which is almost about ready to collapse. The Panther gains the ace level. I'm not entirely sure what Paul.A.D's thought process for this is. But best guess, he figured he might be able to retreat, so if he just stops and then it gets destroyed. Obviously Miragefla's not going to get it back, but even then that seems a bit weird. Wait, Miragefla moving in with more troops coming in there. Panther's got to deal with that machine gun there. Smoke screen off here before retreating. Machine gun just sort of remaining in the shed. Doing a very common edge. The shed was blasted. I see she's farming up and Guinea's backing up. He's finally taking advantage of something happening in the north to push through this by the south. Flanking here. Pioneers in trouble, or mortar in trouble. He should fast bank up. Got the Stu moving in. He veteran 2 Stu. Gets the farm's not quite within range. Takes support, but they're getting in there. Stu moving up. Bit blinded here by the Stu. And there again, nasty on the Sturmgeschütz. Artillery called in there on the pack 40. Has 2 down to less than half health. Panther moving in. Stu goes less than half health. H5 standing away. Field gun moving up here. Pack 40 as well there. Heavy damage here. All over the place. IS-2 almost down. The Pack 4's almost down as well here. Paul.A.D very close here to another IS-2. Again, if you lose the first one. Anti-tank and crew down to the Panther 4. Damaging the off here. Almost lost the Panther 4 in the south. Stu blasts away from the north. About to get taken up with the anti-tank guns. Panther 4 blitzing around here. Quickly moving the IS-2. Main gun out in the Panther 4. Stu down. I repeat, Sturmgeschütz down. Other Panther 4 trying to escape. Can escape the wrath of the H-5 tank destroyers. A very intense engagement. He's going after the Panther 4, but the IS-2 shot bounces. Need to be careful not to get too close, by the way, since that increases the chance of the Panther 4 penetrating. It's ace level, so you can see that it has a high rate of fire now. IS-2 misses. Shots keep bouncing. The thing is, though, at some point they're not going to bounce. See if he keeps moving close. We've got a Sturmpanzer on the way there, and there we go. One shot penetrates, knocking out the main gun. All of a sudden, the Panther 4 has the edge here. Paul.A.D should have just kept it at a distance, but he didn't. And I might actually lose the IS-2 to the Ace Panther 4 because he kept moving it too close. Instead of trying to rely better on his advantages, which is, more armor range. So, other way, there we go. Panther 4, Ace takes out the IS-2. Shock was done as well there. Heavy losses there for Paul.A.D. He's still controlling most of the map. He's still got most of the victory points, but still, that hurts. But Paul.A.D can very quickly replace the IS-2. He wants him, and he's got the fuel. He just needs roughly a minute and a half worth of manpower and call himself in another heavy tank to beat Miragefla silly. As Miragefla's bringing up more Pioneers and a Panther. But no, he goes for the KV-8. He's actually really close to the IS-2, but for some reason, Paul.A.D is coming to the IS-2. Does he actually think he's got this in hand and can just go for the KV-8, or is there some other possible logic behind the KV-8? I do not know. But something's happening there that's causing him to forgo, I would say, an otherwise very obvious choice. Panther 4 need repairs. He did in the end lose the Ace Panther 4, though I would say did its part for the fatherland. They were heroes. They will be remembered. Ravgrin against the conscripts. Fixing up the Panther 4. Panther sitting out. KV out there for Paul.A.D. Another pack 40 there for Miragefla. KV-8, the Soviet Dragon is out. Not, I think they've been left by 1944-45 where they're beginning to use T-34s instead for that job. Basically replacing the whole machine gun with a flamethrower. Maxim there's going to run into the KV-8 and get scorched pretty badly. 69 versus 41. 68. Stormtroopers on watch. Panther moving in against the KV-8. Bit risky considering all the mines police have been laying down here, but so far the iron wall have been laid down. Panther moving about here. No pin 'em up machine, a bit of a miss I think for the Panther. It does really benefit from pin 'em up machines as an infantry. So it's a bit of an oversight there by Miragefla. Just a bit. Consequence of Panther 4 up close. We've got the issue 5 backing up here. Up north, seizing the victory point here. We got 41 versus 62. Panther 4 there, victory 2, but it's already about to get taken out here by Paul.A.D. Station 5 tank destroyers here. Miragefla playing a very dangerous game versus Paul.A.D. and the Red Army. Storms there avoiding getting burned horribly by the KV. Well, most of them did. Ludwig did not. And there we go. Something went kaboom. That's the Panther 4 Division 5 leaving Miragefla now with just the Panther, with just the Panzerkampfwagen 5. And the veteran field and crews and the Pack 40 quickly tearing through the Panther's armour. Probably alongside the tanks, so they're going to need to pull back that Panther now, otherwise this is going to be a huge waste of resources from Miragefla. And it's too late, he loses the Panther. He's down just a single Pack 40 versus KV-8 and the double tank shows. And versus the KV-8, the Pack 40, the KV-8 is really good. So Miragefla is right now in a really bad spot here versus Paul.A.D. Pack 40s though here flanking up behind the tank shows and could take out the KV-8, manning a turnaround against Paul.A.D. maybe, but Paul.A.D. of course still has plenty of resources. He can still go for another IS-2 just to more KV-8s, I guess. Miragefla relying on the one true savior, the Sturmgeschütz. Calling another one. Paul.A.D. though is not going to bother with IS-2. He's going to go for another KV-8 here. Pioneers versus the field gun in the center. You got 41 versus 48. This is going to be neck and neck. Incredibly close here. Pioneers versus engineers. Kennedy's reinforcing. Stug almost done. Storms bring out. They're halfway to the ace level. 14 kills, 15 kills. Almost got engineers. I want to turn their guns to the conscripts here. I mean, at this range, you could probably get away with the tactical advantage to increase the damage further. The conscript maybe just slow them down entirely. Paul.A.D. adding more shock troopers. KV cancelled. What is Paul.A.D. planning here? 33 points versus 41. Maximum bandage. Stug moving up. Still no pin 'em up machine gun there. Shock troopers moving up. Stug shoots, destroys the field gun. There you go. We got a smoke screen off to help the stormtroopers retreat from the shock troopers. Sturmgeschütz hammering away. We got 24 versus 41. 22. What on earth is Paul planning here? I don't know. 18 points. 16 points. And he still needs to get at least one other victory point. Otherwise, man, at this rate, he's still going to lose. 13 points. And he still also has to somehow hold this in the center. Then Pioneers opening up here. Can these with flamethrowers as well. Both upgrade with veteran squad leaders. Very nice. It's from the Stug here. 9 points left. Southern victory pumping system here. Paul.A.D. Miragefla's moving ahead. Rushing for the center, rushing for the south. We got 8 points left for Paul.A.D. Finding over the center. Storms with Pioneers ringing. He almost got the ability to pop Assault and Hope, which might just allow him to push through the last bit. He needs of damage and capturing. 8 points still left versus the 39 of Miragefla. And there you go, you can pop assault and hold. So where I want to. There we go, pop it, he does pop it. Boosting the Pioneers, also giving Miragefla a full doctrinal bingo with all 5 abilities used. Very nice. In the centre, consequence the Grenadiers here with the flamethrower as well, and they're getting absolutely annihilated. And with this, I think it's safe to say CGF for Paul.A.D. He's down to 7 points. Got control of none of the points here. And of course, with capture and hold, Miragefla can swiftly seize the points. And there you go, GG, game over. Absolutely bloody fight here on Kholodny Ferma between Miragefla and Paul.A.D. with heavy losses on both sides, aggressive moves, aggressive flanks, turnarounds and whatnot, and one hell of a close ending there. Absolutely spectacular play there from both players. So I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. Also big thanks to Iron Dwarf 30 and to Steel Sledge for donating and support the Propagandacast. You are truly my company of heroes. And certainly if you wish to support as well, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. Links in the video description. So hope to see you all tomorrow for a nice episode. Bye.